everybody. All right, so we are starting in the most chaotic way ever today. We actually have a field reporting. This is the first time we've ever field reported. Nick is still muted because it's kind of loud over there. But Nick is reporting live from the field. We are doing Illustrator today. So if you're just joining, if you're watching the replay, skip forward to, let's say, 4 minutes into the stream. Let's say that. I'll try to hit that. And that's when we'll start our lessons. But for now, we're going to hang out. We're going to tell you a little bit about office hours. Last time was our 100th episode. And Nick is my co-host. Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself and where you are.
You got me all right?
You were good.
Awesome. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Longo, and we've been doing this for over 2 years now. We just hit our 100th episode. So this is 101, dude. Congrats. Pretty neat.
We did it.
The reason I am not at home and doing this is we are at our first creative conference back over the last 2 years. We're at Cropcon. You can look it up online. We're in Austin, Texas right now. And I've got a bunch of buddies here who want to say hello as well.
So we're here in office hours. We love to introduce people and show you cool new designers. So these are all great designers. So Steven and Roberta, you guys are blocked out. Just switch places, get a little, there we go, some face in there. So these are all people for you to follow that will love to help you out, give you advice, give you tips. They're all just the best of the best in the industry. And if you guys want to go through real quick and introduce yourselves and just say hi to our audience and maybe your favorite tip in Illustrator.
Well, apparently I'm going first. Hey there, Happy Impulse, aka Roberta, to my mom, please. I'm an illustrator by day or by night, depending on the week. I create awesome art in Illustrator. I have a little shop going on, and hopefully Andrew's sharing my work right now because I'm pretty awesome.
Yes, it is happening. I literally did the transition and I was like, we got it. Yeah, so this is you. You're on Instagram and social media as Happy Impulse, correct?
That is correct. And if you ever need help with anything, with your website, any set of eyes, Nick greatly believes, as well as Andrew, to hit your senior designers up. We're here to help you. We're here to help you grow. We're here to encourage you. So please hit us up.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Next up, we have Steven's going.
That's way better than what I'm going to do. Yeah, Steven, Overturf Design Studio, all over the interwebs. What was your question?
Do you have a favorite thing in Illustrator? Today we're talking about Illustrator. So do you have any favorite Illustrator tips?
Oh, geez. No. I kind of make my own guides as I go, in the sense of instead of using the normal alignment tools, I'll make my own and I don't know what this is terrible.
No.
This is the worst I've ever done on a live session ever.
That's great. So I love that. So people can find you on Overturf Design Studio is on the internet, and I'll actually make sure to show how to create guides out of shapes today, because that's something that people don't know how to do. So we'll show that today.
That's my.
All right, Steven, out of here. Carly, where are you at?
I'm right here. Hey guys, my name is Carly Sarno. I'm a sports designer. I'm a sports designer for the Seattle Kraken. Excuse me, I talk too fast to pronounce my words correctly sometimes. My favorite Illustrator tool is actually Image Trace in the Pathfinder tool. I do a lot of illustration heavy work where when I have to create custom shapes, and sometimes when that's too much, I just like to find shapes online and create them and tweak them every way that I can, because that's the fastest way to do it. Other than that, I'm sports everything. So if you guys want to know how to get into sports design, what it's like to work in entertainment, I'm the person to hit up. I've worked for the NFL, the NHL, and I also do my own branding freelance business on the side. I specialize in photography, music photography, and logo design.
Sweet. And we'll have our moderator, Wade, will drop in chat right there links to all these people. It is just behance.net/Carly Sarno, or on Instagram, @CSarno_, correct?
C.A. Sarno.
C.A. Sarno, got it. And then we have one more friend. Hello, friends.
I'm Rubai. I have been all over the place with design. I've done entertainment, I've done e-commerce, do branding and apparel design in my free time, and I'm transitioning to a role in beauty now. My favorite Illustrator tip would probably be the shape builder tool. Otherwise, viewing things in outlines, just so you have crisp, clean lines, always my go-to.
Yes, and we're doing shape builder today, so that's the perfect transition. Thank you for checking in, everybody. Nick will be back next week. I believe next week we will be creating a poster together in Illustrator. So that'll be a great time. But today we're going to be talking about Pathfinder, Shape Builder, and Nick will be teaching us. So he is not here with us, but we did pre-record. So yeah, we'll pretend that he's here live.
Me from the future.
Yes, from the future. All right, Nick, have fun at Cropcon, and we will see you later. Bye.
Great show. See you. Bye.
All right, so now we're here, just me, all alone in the darkness. Let's get started, y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. As always, if you have questions, if you have anything that you would like to say, go ahead and join our Discord. We'll be talking about Illustrator basics. The Discord is right down here. And if you want to jump into the classroom chat, that is the place that we should be today. Right here, we'll be in the classroom chat. I'll be in there during these segments because we did pre-record. There's 10 minutes of pre-record, then I'll be back with the Shape Builder tool going live, and then we'll be back with some more with Nick, and then I'll finish up going live as well. So we're here, we're live the whole time. Hop into Discord, join the classroom chat, and we'll be hanging out there talking, and fire up Illustrator because I want you to design with us today. So let's get started and talk a little bit about the Pathfinder tool. All right, Illustrator 201. Let's hop in. We're talking Pathfinder, right, Nick?
Yes, we're going to go through some really cool tips and tricks with the Pathfinder tool. It's not even a tool. It is a whole palette. It's a collection of stuff, wouldn't you say?
It is. It's literally all of the tools that you need to make stuff just in one little panel. And it looks like there's just like a couple buttons, but it does so much.
Yeah, and I've even dug a little deeper and looked into some stuff that other people have been showing that I did not know were there. And I'm the one always going, you got to learn Pathfinder. This is kind of the number one thing as far as like this and Shape Builder are very much the same in a lot of ways. You know, they have that same kind of attempt on like building shapes, making things unique, compound, knocking things out. What I love about Pathfinder and particularly all these little sections here is you're going to see they are time savers beyond, right?
Yes.
They are the way you build things more, letting the computer actually doing it for you rather than you kind of like figuring it out and spending minutes upon minutes on doing something and not actually accurate too.
Yep. And you talked about the Shape Builder. If you stick around, we're going to be talking about Shape Builder in just a second. I'm going to cover Shape Builder. Nick's going to cover Pathfinder so we can show you two ways to do the exact same thing. Because again, there's no wrong way to be creative. So we're going to show you a bunch of different ways to create kind of the same things. So Nick, let's hop in. You've got a little cheat sheet here that I'm sure we'll be posting in Discord.
Yeah, we got this ready to go.
Discord.
You can mess around with it.
All right, what are we doing in Pathfinder? Let's hop in.
Perfect. Let's do this. So Pathfinder is right here on my artboard. Again, I've reset my artboard. We talked about this a little bit in the previous sections. I like starting each program or file off completely clean with this. But since Pathfinder is going to be used a lot, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically pull it out so I have it here ready to go. Again, it is a collection of tools, and we're going to go through the first one here, which is called Combine. And I think the best thing you can think of for this one is building clouds, right? Building something that looks like clouds, and you'd be sitting there thinking about taking the Path tool, right? And you're like going, okay, I think I could do something where if I go like this, and I'm trying to do some clouds, and then you're like,
nobody
are
wants
you really
the
getting
clouds?
Exactly. No one there's your first t-shirt. Yeah. I love that. So all I've done was I've made a series of these circles. And what's neat about it is I'm just overlapping in a way and finding a cool little arrangement that I think would work. If I need to add another one, I could do that here as well. Maybe this one gets a little bit bigger. I like the idea of scale. You can really show these off. This one maybe get a little bit smaller. Now, here's what I have. If I basically do a wireframe, which is Command Y, I can see I've got my 5 circles ready to go. But what Combine does is when I can put this all together here and I hover here, Unite actually is the name. Combine was the way I used to. That's how I used to call it.
Oh, I've made
it
up
makes
names.
So much sense.
I've made up names for all of the different Pathfinder tools. Like,
right?
Like who knows the actual name? I just make them up. I just know like this pushes it together. Yeah.
Yep. So here we go. I'm just going to basically hit the Unite tool. And now you see I have the united piece, and there it is. What it's done is it's basically taken all of those paths and brought them together. And I love the fact because you get these perfect little things there when you're trying to combine. This is something too you can do if you've outlined type, and then you've offset pathed it, you could do the same thing. Whereas instead of having all these extra pieces that someone, let's say somebody else grabs your file and you are in this zone here, and someone can actually take that and move it and ruin the file or ruin the artwork.
Yep.
What I love about this is it kind of makes it locked in where you can't do anything like that. You can't change it. You can't mess with it. So that's basically Unite. It's really, really a great one to use for all of those other ones.
Yep. And
the
something
next
with
one,
Unite, since
yeah.
we are talking 201, this is a step up.
Yeah.
Unite, if the objects aren't overlapping, they'll actually make a compound path. So if you want to make a compound path very quickly and easily, which a compound path is basically just different paths that aren't connected, it will basically group those, but make them into one path. So, oh, good. Yeah. Nick, go ahead and explain what you're doing.
So yeah, so all I've done is now we have a compound path where this one is not just grouped with it, but it is taking multiple paths and kind of put them together as one. And what's neat about this is like the transparent background. Obviously, if this was taken into anything, into PNG or a raster file. So what's neat about it is it's still considered part of the unit, even though it's outside and completely away from the rest of it. So great tip on that one as well. Love that idea. Now, minus front. This is really, really unique too. This is punch out. This is cut out. This is anytime you want one shape to do something to the other. So I'm going to show you real quick. If I select all of these here, I think all I've done is I'm going to group these guys here. Okay. So I've just grouped them. If I take all these together and I hover over here and I see minus front, you'll see I'm only, it feels like a mistake. It's only doing it to the front of one of them. What the problem is here, and I think you know the reason.
Yes.
This one and this one have to be a compound path.
Yep.
If they're two separate pieces, just like we did earlier, we're going to combine them, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, Nick, we just learned a way to make a compound path with two shapes that are overlapping.
Yes.
We just select them both, and then we use that
There
first.
you go.
Yep, right there.
So that's a great shortcut, because typically what I do is I will do my command, which is compound path make, command 8. So it depends on if your hands are right there on the keyboard ready to go, or if it's easy enough, you can literally just do that.
Yep.
Now, it doesn't look any different, but those two purple bars are considered together. So now when we punch out the yellow bars, you'll see what happens. So I'm going to collect all of them here, and I'm going to go here to that, and it's, oh, wait, let's see.
Did it not compound path it?
Oh,
Did it just
I don't
group
think it. Oh, do you have to? I think you have to option click. There it is. You have to option click.
Got it.
That's it. Okay, so let's go back a bit here. There we go. We're two separate ones. We're going to click on both. Now we're going to option unite. Now they're a compound path.
Got it. Okay.
Now we'll try this, and we'll do our minus. Oh, didn't do that.
You know what's happening? I think what's happening
These
is
gotta be.
all need to be, compound path. So we can just command or control 8 on both of those
There
is
we
the
go.
hotkey, and it will make it so that they are both compound paths.
Okay.
And then we can subtract that front, minus front, sorry.
That's interesting. So it's kind of in a, let's see, I'm doing that, and it's not doing it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
What
Make
is-
sure that that's a compound path.
It is. Yeah, we did both that one and that one. Make a compound path. Let's see. We'll try it one more time here. It's not doing it.
So try.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this here, and we'll just do a square like this. And I'll make it here before we get a little too complicated.
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah. I'm very
try
interested
this.
to see what happened there.
There it is.
There it is. So
Okay,
you're
so
basically
I want-
punching the top object out of the
Yes.
bottom object.
Now, notice when I go to wireframe, there is no residue of that box. The box was only used as a punch out. Think of it as the knife, kind of like making that die cut and doing something like that, which is really, really kind of cool. Now, there's nothing there, right? But if I do this, and I believe if you do option with that, the box is still there. And what's neat is it's movable.
Yes.
So I can move this around and go, you know what? I want that crop. Now, what's neat about that is it's always that idea of like before you've expanded or before you've removed that box completely, you still are able to go back there and edit it for any reason you need to. So consider that option allows you to do that, and I love that idea. So
that feels like
way,
Illustrator 301. Like that's a mega trip.
Hitting that option key, that we should save that for
magic
for 301.
Yes.
Right there, you go. Next up is Intersect. So I've got 2 right here as well. And if you look at them, I love the idea that the little icon basically explains what it's going to do. Intersect is going to actually go and get you just that piece that it intersects in between. This is great for making leaves, moons, you name it. So like, let's say we wanted to do a moon kind of thing. I could do this, get this here.
That's no moon.
Oh, that's right.
Star
That's not
Wars.
a moon. This is just going to do another leaf, correct?
Oh, yes,
That
this
would
is
be-
going to do a leaf. Yep.
Yeah, so that would be the way, that would be on Extrude, I believe. We'll give that a shot. But here as well, all it does is does that, and it gives you this beautiful little piece as well. Now, I believe if you do the option here again, perfect. Look at that. I
Same
get
thing.
this. Isn't that crazy?
It's basically a clipping mask without the
It's a
clipping
mask.
mask, right? It's
Exactly.
basically masking it in.
Now, always remember too, if you've done this and then it's going off to be sent to print or anything like that, I would always like maybe just expand that, in a way and go right back to getting just that clipped version. Again, you don't want anyone to have any chance of messing or ruining the perfect piece that you've got there as well. So that's that. And now on Extrude, we're going to kind of do something uniquely different here as well. This will do the same thing. It's kind of the reverse
Same
of
but
Intersect.
opposite, yeah.
Exactly, because there you go. Look at that. And this is neat. Reminds me of like Shape Builder. I think you can get some really cool things by accident here that you wouldn't maybe necessarily think of in maybe like logo design or icon marks, right? You get this kind of cool little vibe here that like, ooh, this might, now I can almost see clipping this to something totally different and unique
really
as well.
cool negative space work here.
Isn't that neat?
Yep, and I love, and we saw the example there that it was 2 different colors and it changed it to 1 color. And Nick, why
Yes.
did it change it to 1 color instead of the 2 that we had?
So I believe it does it to the one that is on top.
Yes, it does it to one
Yes.
that's on top, and because it is turning into 1 shape, it can't be 2 colors. So it'll pick the
Yes.
color that's on top when it makes that 1 shape.
Exactly.
So Nick, that was the whole top row.
Yes.
Those are the basics. And actually the Shape Builder tool hits all those basics. So we're going to hop back over to the Shape Builder tool real quick, and then we'll be back to cover the rest because there's more Pathfinder. There's a million things in
Perfect.
Pathfinder. So let's hop over. Let's talk about the Shape Builder tool just so you get a little bit of context.
Excellent.
And then we'll cover the rest in just a second. So we'll cut back. Hi, Andrew in the future. Wow, what a seamless transition that was. Hello, welcome. If you're just joining us, a ton of people popped in. This is Office Hours. We're learning the basics of Illustrator. Sorry, we're learning the intermediates of Illustrator. We're in 201. This whole year, we're doing creative basics and helping you level up your skills. And we have on the screen our Discord. You can go over there at discord.gg/ACC. And I want to do 2 things real quick. One, I want to show that this is indeed how it works. I don't know why it wasn't working for Nick, but if we select all these 3 on here and someone's asking me to mute on Discord, I'm so sorry. Let's just go ahead and leave this channel. There we go. All right, so if we have these 3 images, we can go to Object, Compound Path, Make. Then we select these 2 and we go to Object, Compound Path, Make. Then we select all of them, grab our Pathfinder, and then we're going to hit on that minus front. And oh my goodness, look at that, it worked. So I don't know why it wasn't working for Nick, but here we are. It is working now for me. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Shape Builder tool, let's talk about Shape Builder tool real quick, and then I will help out someone in our live chat that has a question. If you don't know, this is a live show. If you're watching the YouTube replay, we're live every Friday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. This is episode 101. So we've been doing this forever, and thanks for being a part of our family. Go ahead, join the Discord down below. All right, let's go ahead and work, and I want to show you some stuff in the Shape Builder. The base builder is not what it's called, the Shape Builder. So I'm going to grab the ellipse tool right here, and I'm just going to make a couple circles. Of course, when we're working with these, we make a lot of circles just to show you. And I'm going to hold Shift as I drag that out. Now we're going to make another circle, and I'm holding Alt or Option. You can see that little cursor turn into 2 little triangles right there. So we're going to do that, and now we can see that there is a nice little overlap here. So we're going to hit Control Y, and that will show us what the lines look like. So this is outline preview. We're just hitting Control Y, and it's turning that on and off. And we're going to use the Shape Builder tool. Now, the most important thing with the Shape Builder is that you need to have everything selected with the Shape Builder tool that you're going to use. And I'm going to be pointing at the Pathfinder, but using the shape builder. So we'll kind of show back and forth how that works. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the shape builder right here. And we're going to click and drag over all these shapes. You can see them highlighting with that nice little pattern. And what that pattern basically means is we're going to be augmenting that portion of this image or of these shapes together. So as I hover over these, you can see that they are showing different shapes. They're showing all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to click and drag across all of these shapes, and it's going to do the exact same thing as the unite right here. So I click and drag, and boom, now it is united. If I go back into the outline mode, you can see it is just one shape. It is no longer two shapes that are overlapping. Okay, so if I undo that, there we go. Now we have our two shapes back. What I can do is hold Alt or Option, and holding Alt or Option is basically going to make it a minus, right? It's going to say, hey, cut this out. So these overlap, and just like we had here with the minus front, we can use the shape builder tool right here to hover over this middle, and I'm going to hold Alt or Option and just click. And check that out. It has now taken that out of these shapes. So this is great. I have two kind of half moons. They are completely separate. It has broken those apart. But maybe I want the opposite of that, right? Maybe I just want to grab the middle. The cool thing about the shape builder tool is not only can you minus and add, you also can do things like intersect. And what it's going to do is it's going to grab all of these, and we're going to grab the shape builder tool right here. And all that I'm going to do is click. I'm just going to click once, no Alt, no Option, just click. And when I click, what it's done is it has divided that piece out. So now if I grab the direct selection tool, which is A, I can simply grab this middle piece and pull it out over here. And now I have this nice little leaf that I can rotate. Maybe I could make a flower or a stem, and I'm just using the scale tool here all over there. So really cool ways to augment shape and change things with that shape builder tool. Another great thing that we can do is offset paths with type and then use the shape builder to cut out to create inlines. So we will talk about that, but I want to talk a little bit about everything else that you can do with Pathfinder. So we covered with shape builder tool kind of this top row of the pieces that you could create using the Pathfinder. So again, if we have these two overlapping shapes, maybe we just want the inside, right? So if we want to unite, we're gonna grab the shape builder tool right here. If we want to unite, which is the Pathfinder, we can click and drag over the whole thing. It is now united. If we want to subtract the front, all that we need to do here is we need to click and hold Alt or Option, and it will cut that out for us. If we want to do right here the intersect, we can just click holding nothing. My hand is up here so you can see I'm not holding anything. And then that will give us that intersected middle part. And then if we want this right over here, the exclude, all we need to do is grab our shape builder tool, hold Alt or Option, and we can just click and drag on the parts that we want to exclude, and it will delete those for us. So two different ways to do that. When we talk about design, there's no right way or wrong way to do things. There are just different ways. So I wanted to show you how to do it with the Pathfinder as well as how to do it with the shape builder. Now, the Pathfinder does have some more advanced options that we're going to get into right now, and Nick is going to show us how to go into the advanced version of the Pathfinder tool. Seamless transition. I don't know what I was cutting in from the live, so we're just going to pretend like that was a seamless transition. I had the greatest segue of all time. We're back with the second row of the Pathfinder, Nick. Let's talk about what's happening on this. Let's hit it.
Yeah, so here we've got divide, and divide is, again, another tool we're going to use in our Pathfinder thing. And all you're going to do is you're going to hover up here, and you're going to see the divide one. Now, what this does, again, is very similar to like what we just looked at. I'm going to ungroup it, and what I have are these kind of like unique little shapes that all those intersections are there.
Yep, that's a
and
logo
what I
right
love
there.
about this, right? Yeah, all of a sudden you're starting to get like the feel of like, oh, this can actually create a logo in itself. So very cool to do that as well. I'm going to do a quick, let's see, we got them two here. All right, they are ungrouped. Oh, whoops, let's go one more here. There we go. Now, again, you got an option divide. So if I do option and click that, what it's going to do is nothing different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think the second. So we just looked at Shape Builder right before this, and Shape Builder
Yes.
actually doesn't do any of these things because this is basically using them as scissors to like cut the shapes.
Perfect.
It's not adding or subtracting. It's literally just all of the second row pretty much is going
Yes.
to be breaking the shapes as using them almost as scissors, I think.
Yes.
So continuing on minus front, let's talk about that.
Yes. So here we go. We got next up is trim. So trim
Sorry.
is here. So we're going to go right to here. And what this does is very similar. You get this kind of thing, but it doesn't divide the intersection. What
Yep.
it does is it's kind of a quick trim, which is kind of cool there as well.
Again, they're just cutting the shape. So think of it as we're
Exactly.
just cutting and using it. I always think of scrapbooking for some reason, that we're doing
Yeah.
some kind of like hole punch on them with this second row. That's all it does.
Exactly. Now there's two ways merge works as well. I mean, I've got one with a kind of a line over it and then a solid behind it. So when I click on both and we go to merge, what this does is it kind of keeps that one there, but you can see what it's done is it's used whatever outline that you have as the clip. So which is kind of cool. If you have something that has an outline on it, I would use merge instead on this one.
That's
And
interesting.
then
So
when
it's
you have
basically taking the entirety of the shape, not just the core shape.
Exactly. Now on this one, when you have it colored like this and you do both, what it will do, it will actually combine just the fill colors, which were the same, and it almost removes the line, which is kind of unique when it does that. So it kind of unites in a way, even
Interesting.
though it had the line on there. So if the fills are the same, it's going to show you that as well.
That's
okay?
very interesting.
Yeah. Now this merge is kind of unique too because there's a whole new section on here. Now, these are just overlays, right? I've got these four over those four. If I usually would take those and let's go to merge, okay? Whoops, merge is right there. Okay, cool. It's not really working too well, right? It's merged them, but there's like different colors and then you're also getting those things there. If I united them, I get that.
Yep.
But what's going to happen is I've got all these little funky little dots still in there. So let's say I was going to like shrink these ones down. I get those little razor marks right there. You see,
Yep.
because there's still a point there. Now watch this. I'm going to go and do the merge with option. And so basically what you're going to do here is, I think it is Pathfinder options. And right here, remove redundant points. Did you know this?
No, what?
Look at
I
that.
literally go back and change and like pen tool out points. Oh my
Look at
gosh.
this. So now when I click on it, I only get the dots there. I can take this, move it down, and I have no issues with that at all.
Can you do that one more time? My brain
And that is
exploded.
a preference that stays there as long as you want. So in Pathfinder options, you have it right here. Remove redundant points. So that is a game changer, saves you again. Even if that's 2 minutes it's saving you, add it up over time, unbelievable, right?
Nick, this is why office hours exists. This is why I love
Yes.
Adobe Live, because you're always learning things. And like, I just learned something. We're 101 episodes into this, and I just learned something new in
Exactly.
Illustrator, and this is only 201. Imagine what's going to be happening in 301 and 401. We're going
Exactly,
to get crazy. Thank you
Yep.
for that. All right. Sorry. Let's continue on teaching me some more
Real
stuff.
quick, crop will actually take this, but it will crop what was the intersection, but it remains the one that was on top. So notice this is still here as a thing. And again, totally, there it is. And you can see it's actually made that. So it's cropped, but kept that circle together. So it keeps that just in case that was something you did need. And you can see the difference there. So whatever's on top remains, but turns to white, but you have it as a shape.
Which
okay?
is this similar to divide, except it's taking the other shape away, right? It's cutting it
Exactly.
into pieces, but taking a shape away as well.
Exactly. Now this is the coolest one because I use this all the time when you've offset paths and you have all these different things.
Oh, I don't think I've ever
Outline.
used this, Nick. I'm so excited for Outline.
Outline is really kind of neat. Again, a really cool logo builder. Watch this. I click on it. Doesn't look like much happens, right? But what this has done, if I ungroup it, I have now all of these different pieces. So let's see. Hold on. Why did this? It didn't do it the right way. Let's see. There's that.
Oh, is it basically cutting into paths like the...
Exactly. So it should take this and then do that. Now I'm going to make them, let's just make them all different colors here. Okay.
Oh,
ungroup
they're just the paths instead of the shapes.
Exactly. It's all of those little intersections, which is kind of unique. So it does give you this kind of like really cool idea of what you can do by just outlining things together.
Yep. And
can
you do that one more time with a stroke
Yeah.
on it so we can see what the like stroke shapes look like?
Let's see. Hold on. Why is this? This is kind of tricky because it's not doing the exact same thing that I've done in the past. So let's do this. I'm going to take these, get rid of those. We'll try this.
Got it. Gotta go to the squares. Keep it at the
Yep.
squares.
Exactly. Okay. So there we go. So these are all different, and we'll make them different colors here. And this one will be, I think we have a green here somewhere, don't we? There we go. All right. So now let's make sure this works. So with this, I'm going to hit, go back here, and we'll go to our outline. So it's still doing that. It should actually keep them together, which is kind of unique. So now what happens? If I ungroup it, these should all be separate pieces. But look at it's giving it a unclosed thing. I wonder if I have something in settings.
I don't know, but it seems like the outline would clip it to paths. So basically, it's just cutting out so each of those is a path.
I wonder. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Let's get rid of remove redundant points. Oh, that's what it was.
That's it, because they're paths.
And they were redundant because they were over each other.
Live troubleshooting.
There we go.
Live troubleshooting here on Adobe Live. All right, let's see what happens.
Oh, it's still doing it. Look at that. It's not. Wait. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's see. So here we'll do. Make sure that's off. Options. Yep. Okay. Divide and outline will remove unpainted artwork. No, we don't need that. And we will hit that. Now I'm going to ungroup, and hopefully we should have. I think it's still, oh, look, it's still doing that with the lines.
Interesting.
All right, we'll figure that out.
The way that it's working is that it, in this instance, is it is cutting them all into paths so that it's breaking them all out into paths, which is what, yep. All right, now, so minus back.
Real quick, minus back, very simple. This one, just like minus front, whatever is in the back punches out, okay? With no residual, right? There's nothing there. It is literally the clip. So those two are great. It depends on, what I like about them is they save you a move in putting something in front or behind of each other, because maybe your artwork you want to minus back. So that's why they've given you both options, okay? Now this is kind of neat. Punch out without outlines. So in most cases, if I was to take these two things and try to minus front, meaning the type is live in front of a circle, and I want to go up here to minus front, it will not do anything.
You can't Pathfinder with live type. Nick, what are we about to do?
Okay, so look at here. Option minus front. We're going to take this, option down, minus front. Now look at this. It's there. It is a window.
I didn't know you could do that. The difference? I had no idea you could do that.
But guess what? It's still editable.
Okay, well.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. This is the end of my design career. Thanks so much.
So that's a great one. And this last one is kind of neat too, because it is a punch out and it is a repeat. So if you are doing something like this, okay, and it's like you are minusing the front, we'll go here and minus the front. If I collect these two and just say Command 4, it will do it over and over again for everything else that you have. You don't have to go back and find that Pathfinder tool. Command 4 will repeat that shortcut and get it ready to go. And just to show you, let's do a bunch of them. Okay.
And that was Command D that you just did to repeat that. Yep.
Command 4, Command 4, Command 4. I could probably, can I do them all?
I was going to say, can you do them all? Let's see what happens. I actually don't think this is going to work, but let's see.
Oh,
no. Okay.
There you
because it's a bunch of paths.
Yes.
But being able to do that and not have to worry, like the fact that it just remembers and you can do it again and again and again, that's magic.
Yes. Oh, wow. Did we make a mess out of that board? But we are going to save you this board and you'll have it so you can download this AI file and try it out yourself. These are just great tips. Learn this little section called Pathfinder. This and Shape Builder are the best awesome tools in building logos for sure.
So it'll be right down here in the Discord, discord.gg/ACC. And in that channel, we also have a homework post. And we'd love to see you practice on these sheets and post your homework. So we're going to cut back to live. And Nick, have fun. Speaking of crop, you're at crop. So
there you go.
Have fun, everybody. Get out there, see some conferences. Nick, we'll see you again next week. All right, back to you live, Andrew. Today's secret word is seamless. As in seamless transition. All right, so let's hop back in and talk a little bit more about the shape builder tool. And again, there's a whole lot of new people here. Hi, welcome to Office Hours, live every Friday, 2:30 p.m. Join the Discord, watch the video, watch the replay. If you love it, tell your friends, or don't. I'm not your mom. Do whatever you want. All right. Welcome to the dumpster fire of Office Hours. That's what we like to say here. But we are learning a ton of stuff today here on Office Hours, doing Illustrator intermediate Illustrator. I said the word Office Hours a lot. So let's hop in here. I want to show you one more thing about the Shape Builder tool. And this is why I think the Shape Builder tool, hold on, is better than the Pathfinder tool. Okay. I know it's a hot take. It's a hawk take. Hey, but what we can do is we are going to select all of these pieces here and watch why this is better. We are going to click right here on the shape builder tool, and I'm going to come to the center and I'm just going to click. And look, there's not a shape here. Okay. So there's no shape at all. This is just negative space. We're going to click and check it out. It has made a shape out of that negative space. This is why I love the shape builder tool, because anywhere that you see a shape, that you see something, you can pull it out of the shapes that you're working with, right? With Pathfinder, that would be a bit harder to do. What we'd have to do with Pathfinder is make a box in the background, right? Let's change the color. We have to make a box in the background. We would have to make a compound path of all of these circles. Compound path make, then we'd have to select all of it, then come up here and then minus the front. And then we would have to delete all these extra pieces to get that, right? Why would we do that when we can literally just have these four and come in here, grab the shape builder tool, click, and we're done? What more could you want? And what I like to use this for is if I'm working with type, right? So I'm just going to type out Office Hours here. And I'm using Stoltz, I believe, is the font that I'm using. If you want to design with us, it is always welcome. Go ahead and design whatever you want as long as we go using the Pathfinder tool or the Shape Builder tool. And then you can post it in our Discord right over there. We can take a look. If you're doing anything right now, post in the Discord. We'll take a look in about 10 minutes or so. All right, so right here, we have some type. Now, the first thing that I need to do is outline this type for us to use the Shape Builder tool. So I'm going to go to Object, I'm going to go to Expand, and that is going to take this from being editable type into path. So it's live type into shapes. Now, what I love to do is if I'm trying to find pieces or shapes to create like an extra piece of the logo, right? So let's say that we want to put polka dots around these O's, right? Or around the Office Hours logo. I could try to make a circle here, right? Using the ellipse tool. I'm going to try to come to the center and then click and drag. But we can see, I believe with this font, let's check. Is it a perfect circle font? No. So you can see right here, this is not a perfect circle, right? The inside of that O has a little bit of a bulge to it, right? So if I want to create something that's on brand, maybe I just want to grab the shape that is inside of this O. And type touch tool. Yes, we'll get into type touch tool. That might be 301, but we're going to ungroup these letters and check it out. I can just select this O right here, grab the shape builder tool, click in the middle right there. And now I've got a nice little polka dot. And I've got that polka dot that is the exact shape of this O. So this is fantastic for working with working with logos, pulling different things out of logos. Something else that I love is offset path. And we're going to use offset path with the shape builder real quick to create a nice little inline. So let's put some little polka dots. Why not? These are fun. Sure. Oh, let's do everything everywhere all at once. Let's do that. I'm going to make these into nice little googly eyes. If you haven't seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, this is my official recommendation to go see it. It is Office Hours approved. All right. So let's go ahead and do something real quick. I'm going to offset path. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these letters by holding Shift by just clicking and dragging over all these letters and then holding Shift to click and drag over all the letters down here. Offset path is a little bit of a 201 Illustrator tool. So we're going to go to Object, we are going to go to Path, and we are going to go to Offset Path. And all this does is mathematically making it so that the anchor points that we have are moving by a certain amount. So if we go negative, it will pull them in. You can see from the edge right there, right? So if we're going negative, then it's pulling it in from the edge. If we go positive, it will actually add a bit more to the outside. And so maybe we want a little more on the outside to make it thicker. Maybe we want a little bit on the inside. For now, we're going to go to the inside. And this is how I like to do different kind of inlines in Illustrator. So check this out. I want to do a little double inline. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm at 8, and you can see there that it is offset by 8 pixels. I'm going to hit OK. And then from there, I'm going to add a white stroke to this. So I'm going to change the stroke and fill right here. I can hit Shift X, or I can click on those little arrows. And from there, I'm going to select our stroke and add a white stroke right there. So I want that to be a little bit thicker to give some cool personality to these letters. There we go. That looks pretty cool. So from there, we have our nice office hours logo. We've got that cool little inline. This is looking great, but there is a huge problem. If I wanted to put this on an image, it is not cut out. There is just white happening here, and we need to make sure that we are cut out looking good and perfect. Now, what we can do is we are going to select one of these images, one of these lines. And I didn't make them grouped, and I want to group them, and I want all of them at the same time. So what I'm going to do is with one of them selected, go to Select, Same, and we're going to go Fill and Stroke. So check that out. It is select everything that has the same fill and stroke. If you're working on a document that has a bunch of colors, that has a bunch of different effects, that is the way to select and group things. Select one of them and then find everything else that has the same settings, the same effects, the same stroke, the same fill. There are so many different options here. Same appearance, blending mode, fill, stroke, opacity, stroke color, stroke weight, font family. You can select all the fonts. There is so much here, and I don't think people ever use the select same. So if you need to find something of like everything that's in this font size, let's change it and increase the size. Boom, right there. Super easy. All right, so with all that selected, we are going to need to expand it to work with the Shape Builder tool. Shape Builder doesn't work with strokes, it only works with shapes. So what we need to do is select those strokes and go to Expand and then hit OK. And now you can see they have expanded into shapes. Now, all we need to do, again, is select all of our type here. Let's go ahead and deselect that background because we don't want to edit it. And it wouldn't really matter with the Shape Builder tool. Actually, let's leave it because check this out. With the Shape Builder tool, it will actually cut out multiple layers, right? So let's say this. Let's add a whole bunch more in the back here. We've got a green one. Then let's gonna go ahead and add a blue one, another one. All right, so we've got all these boxes in the back. And if we select all of our shapes, watch what happens. You can see that this piece right here is actually overlapping with 3 boxes. If we turn on our outlines, you can see this little area, 1, 2, 3 overlaps. But watch this. With the Shape Builder tool, we can simply hover over right here where this outline is, and you can see it's breaking up all those pieces to kind of say, hey, do you want me to punch out this entire thing? Yes, that's the answer. So I'm gonna hold Alt or Option and then click and just drag through all these pieces that I want to cut out on this little white area right there. So when I let go, it will have cut out all of those pieces all the way across. So it looks like it didn't do anything because you're like, Andrew, it's still white, but check this out. If I add in, let's do a brown box here. Let's do brown. Why not? If I send that to the back, check that out. You can see that it has cut out that piece perfectly so that it is completely see-through now, right? So if we keep dragging it over here, you can see that there is still a white piece here. So there's a ton of pieces that still haven't been cut out. And all we need to do is we're going to click and drag over all of these shapes here. And if we want to create some kind of crazy cutout, I'm actually going to delete all of these pieces because they're going to get in the way. If we want to create a kind of cutout of those letters, all we need to do is select the white areas. So we're going to select all of these pieces, and I'm just using Z to zoom in and out right there. I don't have my hotkeys on, but it's just Z. And we are going to grab the Shape Builder right here, and I'm just going to hold Alt or Option and then just click on all of the white piece inlines on these letters, right? So with Pathfinder, this would take a pretty long time, but here all I'm doing is literally hovering over. You can see those selections happening, holding Alt or Option, and it is cutting out all of those pieces for me. Right there. And as it does this, it's slowing down a little bit because it's having to think pretty hard about all of the pieces that it's cutting out. There we go. And now if we drop that in the background, you can see simply by hitting Alt or Option, it has cut out all those pieces, and it looks like I missed one, but that's fine. All I need to do is select those two, grab the Shape Builder tool, hold Alt or Option, and click, and it will take it out. So Shape Builder, super handy, super easy to work very, very quickly and kind of create complex letters, to create a lot of different pieces. Now, somebody has asked a question in our live chat. As you know, this is a live show, and I want to reserve the last few minutes for your questions. And there was a question that was given that's a good 201 intermediate question. And that question was dropped into our Discord, which you can find right below me. So let's go ahead and take a look. So there's a question from Umacorn. They had put it in chat first and said, how would you go about masking pieces of something that is in a blend? So this is what I would do, is I would cheat. In Illustrator, there are great ways to cheat using layers and masks. It can look like you're not doing anything by using simply 2 layers and 1 mask. So watch this. Check this out. This is how we are going to make it so that we can have a mask that maybe goes in here so that we don't have these overlapping pieces. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little disc shape. And it looks like the easiest way to do that, let's go ahead and just create a disc. And maybe this is for a shingle, right? And so what I'm going to do is I am going to create a blend of that shingle just going off to the side. So I'm going to select both of these, and I'm just holding Alt or Option on that drag. I'm going to go to Option, Blend, and Make. Now that's not right, but I can change the options pretty easily. All I need to do is go in here and go to Object, Blend, Blend Options, and we're going to change this to Specified Steps. This will allow us to get that shingling kind of look of those overlapping roof tiles, right? And it looks like, I don't like that shape too much. Let's go ahead and try to fix this by making it more of like a shingle shape. That feels more shingly, right? That's a shingle? That feels like a shingle. All right, so we're gonna pull this down here, and then we are going to select both, go to Object, Blend, and Make. And then we'll go to Object, and we can go to Blend and Blending Options. Again, Specified Steps. Just do a bunch of those to get some shingles. All right, looks good to me. Let's go ahead and just change the colors of those. So we can go to Object, Expand, and that's going to give us all of these different pieces together. So you can double click in here and grab each of these different shingles, and I can start to grab different colors on these shingles. So something else that we could do that's way easier is come in here and just change the color of this into a darker green. And check that out. It will actually create all those different colors for us. And if we want to, we can grab this piece and go arrange and send to back. And it will actually pull that all the way to the back for us. So that looks good. And Umacorn in our live chat is saying the question was about how you would go about expanding the shape that has a mask applied to it. Okay, so if you were working with a blend like we have here, right, and we're just gonna duplicate that blend a couple times to make sure that we have that kind of shingle look. What I would do here, if I was creating this kind of a diamond shape, what I would do is I would expand all these by selecting them, going to Object and Expand, hit OK, and that will give it so that everything is a shape. Right, so that's all expanded. That's not what we're gonna do here because I wanna show you a little bit of a different way to do this. Is what I would do to kind of create this look is I would actually make my kind of shape that I want, right? So let's say that we want this kind of shape, and I'm just gonna use my direct selection tool to pull these in. There we go, so it's overlapping at least a little bit. And let's say that I want this shape for the top, but then I want it to like keep going here on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is make sure that it is overlapping all the way over the edges like that. And I'm going to simply grab these pieces. I'm going to edit copy, and then edit paste in place. So now I have two versions of these shingles, right? So super easy. You want two versions of these. Control C, and then edit paste in place. So with that, what we're going to do is we are actually going to bring our mask all the way to the front. So bringing this mask to the front is going to allow us to use both of our kind of overlaps. We're going to shift and click with the mask and the background. I'm actually going to make a copy of the mask as well. So we're just going to Control C and then edit paste in place. So I'm going to right click with the shape and the blend, make clipping mask, right? So that only has this piece. Now, what I want to do is we're going to use the shape builder tool here. I'm going to grab this green piece in the background that we had. This was the original shape. And I'm actually going to make another version of a shape that's right down here, right? It's going to hit that line where the shape ends. And that is where I'm going to put this piece of the kind of end of the shingles. So I'm going to go to make clipping mask, and then I'm going to delete this shape. And now you can see that we've kind of created this clipping mask that is overlapping. So if we needed to, this piece can come apart, right? So I'll do this very often, especially when I'm overlapping letters. I'll use it so that I'll mask multiple things. If you want to expand these, you can go in here and I believe go to Object Expand and it will expand them. Let's see. Yes. So it will expand those blends. And let me show you what I mean by kind of overlapping letters is let's say that we just had two shapes like this, right? And maybe we wanted to have a gradient that was overlapping or looking a little bit different, maybe a piece or like a cut through. What we could do is we can simply have, let me think of what I'm trying to do here. I would simply grab a piece to overlap. So let's say that we have something like this, and maybe I want this top part to overlap, right? So Andrew, what are we doing here? Oh boy. I'm completely lost on what I wanted to do, y'all. I was going to show you how to overlap using a mask, and I do it with letters. And I don't know of an example to show you. That maybe we'll have to wait to Illustrator 301 because things got, my brain literally farted. I had a brain fart, but you can use masks like that and use copies to kind of overlap different pieces. Okay, no, here's an example. Here's an example. We have 1 minute and I'm going to show you. Here we go, right here. And then let's do a dollar sign, right? So we have a dollar sign and we want this dollar sign to look like it is overlapping, right? So maybe we want darker green here. All that I'll do is make a box over the part that I want overlapping. I'll make a copy of this S, right? Control C and then Control Edit Paste in place. We'll send that to the back by going to Arrange, Send to Back. And now with a copy of that S, I will grab the part that I want overlapping and make that clipping mask. And now, yes, this is what I wanted to do. Now you can create dimension and it looks like you're doing this complex shape, but really it's just two versions of the S with a clipping mask. So that's a nice secret way to get some dimension. If you needed to, you also could do this using the shape builder tool. It would be a little bit more complex, but what I would do is select both of these, grab the shape builder tool, and then just do this and join it together so that that becomes a piece. So same thing, again, shape builder tool is so much faster, but if you need to overlap things, kind of cheat, using masks and kind of creating layers is a really helpful way to do that. So make sure that you are joining our Discord right down below. We're here every single week at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we had somebody create something for the 36 days of type that I do want to highlight over in our Discord that just came in right here. So if you have work, post it in Discord. If you're playing with the Pathfinder tool, if you're playing with the Shape Builder tool, post it in our Discord because we want to see it. And we will see you again next week for another episode. We'll be creating a poster, and I'm sure we'll be using a ton of the Shape Builder, and I'll be using a ton of type. So come back and learn how to build a poster in Adobe Illustrator. And until next week, this has been Office Hours, episode 101. I will see you next week, and Nick will be back. Bye.